Hello, everybody. My name is Cory King. My wife Karen and I started, founded, own, run Side Project Brewing in St. Louis, Missouri. The reason I'm here is actually we're going to talk about a new beer release. For those of you watching that have never had one of our beers or never even heard of us, welcome. We're a brewery in St. Louis. We started 10 years ago and focus on barrel-aged beers, if you can tell. We do make other beers now as well. When we first started, we made barrel-aged sours, stouts, barley wines, stuff like that exclusively. And I'm going to talk about a beer that we're releasing for the first time ever to go. For those of you who have joined us before, know our beers, know our breweries, know our brewery, you know that things are different now than they were, say, just 3 years ago. We used to do all of our releases out the back garage door. I miss those days a lot, actually. And that's why we're doing this, is because during those releases out the back garage door, I got to talk and meet so many of you, talk with so many of you, explain our beers, explain the beer that we were releasing maybe that day, explain some of our other beers, what's going on. Because our beers are not that straightforward. We don't just brew beer and then package that batch, if you will, all together. Everything's a blend. So they are often hard to even describe with words when I write them down. It becomes very lengthy and kind of almost convoluted because our process is all over the place. Welcome. And I miss the days of the garage releases. We'll have those every now and then, but like many of you, things are different than 3 years ago. My kids are getting older. I'm a dad too. And so, I've got things to do on the weekends, sports, primarily, pretty much shuttling my kids around. But we're still a really small brewery. We only made 1,320 barrels of beer last year. So, we're not huge and that's great. So everything is still done by our small team individually. So hence the reason we're not quite like we used to be, but I hope many of you have discovered us because of our online sales now. I think that's opened up the door to a lot more people. Ideally, more people get to try what we're trying to do here. We take our time and try to make the best beer in the world, if you will. That's what we shoot for, and go that direction. So without further ado, I guess I should talk about the beer that I have in my hands. If you see that, we're in our barrel room. This is one of our barrel rooms. This is our clean barrel room, if you want to call it that. This has all of our stouts, barley wines, non-funky beer. The reason being we separate them is really not about the whole cross-contamination that a lot of breweries way back in the day used to talk about. We never really had any of those issues, but more of temperature, if you will. Our funky barrels need to be stored at a certain temperature range, and our clean barrels can be stored at a completely separate temperature range. So they live over here. It's fun. So we can just kind of focus on blending these when we're in this room. So what I have in front of me or with me right now is a double barrel derivation. We've never released a double barrel derivation to go as a release. We've had we did the tiny one to some of the coterie members. We did the tiny one in our anniversary package, but not like to the public. And I want to get this out to more people and experience what we do here and the time we put into these beers. So this is double Willett, double vanilla derivation, meaning it was aged in Willett barrels and then Willett barrels again. If you can't tell, these are Willett barrels. Maybe Drew, hi Drew, from Willett, will see this. We've had a great relationship with Willett for 10 years now. I love their whiskey. I love their barrels. They do good things for our beers. Our recipes work with their barrels. It's really great. It's a good relationship to have. And if you've had one of our barrel-aged stouts, you've had one of our stouts in Willett barrels, because almost everything has a portion in Willett barrels. So we have released this beer once before, double Willett, double vanilla. This time it's double, we're calling it double Willett, double Tanzanian. It's not exactly the same as the first one. This one started a little over 2 years ago, actually, was the first brew of this beer, aged in Willett barrels. There was 3 different recipes that we ended up blending together. The first Willett barrels were Willett 5-year bourbon and Willett 8-year bourbon that we had gotten. Willett family estate on that one. So those are the first aging, and then the second aging for the recipes were Willett 8-year wheat. So it was our first time we got any Willett wheated barrels, if you will. So we got some 8-year wheat from Willett, and then also some 5-year bourbon. And so those were the 2 different stages of aging. The double vanilla part, we didn't just double up the vanilla. We've been using vanilla for years, and so we're always experimenting. For this beer and another beer called OWK, we add vanilla at different times, if you will, in the process. So this beer got its first vanilla dosage at in the second barrel, if you will. So, and that's what it's gonna look like. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. I don't know what I'm doing. We added some vanilla beans in the second barreling and let that age. So we got more of an integrated vanilla, and then we gave it a fresh pop at the end in the bright tank, which is more standard and more normal for vanilla edition. That's usually what you're going to experience, is that last fresh pop, because the vanilla is very expensive. and we don't want it we don't want to lose a lot of that expression, but by adding in different layers, we can create a deeper vanilla expression, we feel. And so like in an OWK, we added it 3 separate times in the process. This one gets 2. So not an easy beer to make, takes a lot of time. You know, if we were better at this video stuff right now, we'd have like some B-roll clips and you'd see vanilla beans and us cutting them up and processing them. But instead, you're going to see me in our barrel room. Since we can't probably meet face to face at our releases because I have children and you have lives as well, and we've been doing online races, hopefully this is a good gateway for me to better explain some of our beers and go this direction. Thank you very much for all your love and support of Side Project. I'm Cory. We have an amazing team, and I hope you've enjoyed your time with us, whether you've joined us physically or just online, as we try to always do better and make the best beer possible. So this will be coming soon. Details to follow. I don't want to say anything wrong in this video because I'd have to record the whole thing. So I believe this is attached to like a newsletter or some kind of release announcement. So thank you all so much. Hope you enjoy Double Barrel Derivation. Actually, not at our place and at your home. There's the heater. Have a good day.